Is a podcaster an influencer? Or is an influencer a podcaster? Or which way does it go? Can you be a podcaster and an influencer? What's the difference? I'm getting this question a lot lately, and here's the difference. A podcaster can be an influencer, absolutely. But let's define influencer first. An influencer is someone who builds an audience and has influence over suggesting products to them, creating concepts, being a person who is sharing things with that audience and getting them to look at that, getting them to buy that, getting them to read that book. Think about social media influencer. That's what we see a lot. But not every influencer has their own ideas. Not everyone is a thought leader. In fact, most social media influencers are all concentrated and all their effort is in building the audience and not necessarily in building the thought leadership that goes along with it. So a lot of them tap into other thought leaders. They have guests. They have collaborations. They affiliate sell things. That's why that works for them, because they don't have their own business, their own things. Their business is influence, is building the audience that they can talk to. So with podcasting, you could do it in that model. You can absolutely have all these guests on your show. You can have affiliate products that you sell. You can podcast in an influencer way. But more often than not, I find that that's not long-term sustainable. And most podcasters are also thought leaders. They're deeply rooted and deeply thinking about a particular niche, a particular area. They're sharing their perspectives. They're inviting on experts. They're sharing their influence in that particular niche and area. Absolutely. So they are an influencer as well, but they're an influencer with their own views, with their own expertise. And that's where the difference comes in. When you have that, you not only have an audience that you're building and influencing, but you also have more and more future products, your own stuff to sell as you go forward, which works better in the podcasting ecosystem. For some reason, podcast listeners respond better to you selling your own things and you talking about your own things and you bringing in people in your sphere of influence than they do when you have this model of, I'm just going to talk about anything and everything so that I can just have this constant affiliation going on. It works better because those long tail conversations are harder to have if you don't know the right questions to ask, and someone with deep expertise does. In influence, social media model, think TikTok, you can do something in 30 seconds that's really quick, and you don't have to demonstrate a deep command of that. You just have to be fun, interesting, worth following, right? And everything that they do, they're going to check it out from that point forward, and that's all on the affiliation that you create, the guests problem, or the person who you've highlighted, your featured highlight in your reel, in your Instagram story, in your TikTok, whatever it might be. So that is a little bit different between the influencer and podcast influencer / thought leader model. I just want to give you that concept in mind because those that last longer in podcasting find at some point they tip into the thought leadership part being the most valuable part of podcasting, not the influence portion.